AITAH for taking a shower every day at 7:30? For context, I early 20s, live with my family of 5 other people, 2 of which are children, and we all share one bathroom. I always take my shower at the exact same time every morning, and I'm usually in the bathroom for about 20 minutes tops. Before I take my shower, I let everyone who's awake know I'm doing so and give them the opportunity to use the bathroom. Now my father, nearing 50, has begun throwing a fit about this. He says, and I quote, "I have a morning routine too. I drink my coffee and I have to take a shit after. I don't know when I'm going to have to shit." He wants me to take my showers after I get home from work, instead of in the mornings, because that's what he does. My mother thinks I should just wake up earlier, so I can take a shower at 7, before he wakes up. I think that's ridiculous because I don't leave for work until 8:30, and that would fuck with my entire sleeping schedule and morning routine. I'd be sitting here with my thumb up my ass for at least an hour before I can even leave for work. And before anyone says just move out, please just know I would if I could. Edit. Adding some extra info here, I used to take a shower at 7:45, so I've already pushed my time back by 15 minutes, but then I am still in there until around 7:45, 7:50 so. Editing this again because I'm personally disregarding any message who complains that I'm an adult living with family. Clearly you're coming in here with bias. I'm one of 2 adult children living here, and I'm the only one who actually works. I contribute to bills and I pay for my own shit. It has absolutely nothing to do with this post. Not everyone is afforded the same privilege as you. Final edit for clarification. The 20 minutes isn't just shower time. I use the bathroom, brush my teeth, shave and shower in 20 minutes. Second of all, no, I don't pay rent or utilities, which is $500 a month as far as I know. My dad pays that, and we both buy food for the house. Without going into detail, I contribute about $650 a month across everything I help with, give or take 100. Storage, food, animal care, etc. And again, I'm one of 2 adult children living here, and the only one contributing anything at all. Not that any of this has to do with my bathroom usage. Final edit. My dad is his own boss. He can wake up and leave for work whenever he wants to, usually 9. These comments are tripping me out. A 20-minute shower is not long? Washing your hair, body, maybe shaving or whatever the routine is, using the bathroom for 20 minutes at the same time every day is probably the most convenient way to do it. If your dad has to shit immediately after drinking his coffee, he can wait 10 minutes into your shower and start drinking it so when you're done he can go right in. Not the asshole, you're not just living with family, you're an adult sharing space with other adults, and it sounds like paying your share. I see no reason he can't also be an adult, and make sure if he's going to eat or drink something he knows upsets his stomach, he's doing so when he knows the bathroom is available. Not the asshole. Your routine is well known by this point, and you give people the opportunity to use the bathroom before you shower. I don't think waking up 30 minutes earlier is going to make much of a difference because your father wants you to shower in the evening. For the sake of peace and a little good faith, you could try waking up at 7 or 7:15 and see how it plays out. People thinking 20 minutes is a long shower, are y'all okay? 20 melons is reasonable for anyone with hair to wash. I take about 20 melons for my showers, and my hair isn't even past my shoulder blades. And I'm not using 5 different products either, just shampoo and conditioner. That whole process takes up half my shower, easy. Holy shit, you're getting some absolutely wild responses here. What time does your dad get up and drink a coffee? In an ideal world, you'd want to be getting in the shower as he gets up, probably? Timing-wise. If that's what's happening now, then great. I do think you should try and squeeze down the time it all takes a bit, but I don't know how long shaving takes, so maybe that's not possible. No assholes here really, but definitely not the asshole. To be honest, it's a little hard to judge here. We don't know when everyone leaves or needs the bathroom. That said, it is somewhat inconsiderate to use that much time in the bathroom during a high-demand period in a large household. Your dad has a fair point, even if he doesn't communicate it well, and these things get less predictable as we age. Maybe an alternative would be to take shorter showers? Am I the asshole for not finishing my meal when I was at the mall with friends? So I, F16, was at the mall with a couple of friends, and we stopped at a fast food place. I got a burger and fries combo, but I didn't finish because I was full. Anyway, one of my friends did get really upset with me. Though this isn't my first time not finishing my food around this friend, so I get why she would be upset. She also has a strong moral compass when it comes to food waste, which is a very kind trait of hers. She just blew up at me this time and said I'm a selfish and bad person for not finishing my food or saving it for later. It hurt my feelings, but I understand where she's coming from. The thing is, I'm really not proud of it, but just sometimes when it's not buffet style, and you can't choose your portion sizes, I just get full. I also don't take it home for later because the fries get soggy and I don't really want to lug it around, which maybe seems selfish. I don't really know. Am I the asshole? She also has a strong moral compass when it comes to food waste, which is a very kind trait of hers. No, it is not kind at all. Your friend is virtue signaling and being a bully. Unless it was possible to order half a hamburger, what exactly did she expect you to do? Tell her to not try to shove food in your mouth, and to keep her eyes on her own plate. Not the asshole. If she really cared about food waste, she wouldn't support fast food, period. Not the asshole. People not eating their full meal is not where the problem of food waste comes from. And it doesn't feed another person to stuff yourself or carry home soggy fries. Your friend is being holier than thou, and rarely do those types of people ever have an actual basis for their ranting and ravings. There's nothing wrong with wanting to reduce food waste, but there is a lot wrong in yelling and or lecturing someone about not eating their full meal. You aren't selfish. Your friend does not have a strong moral compass if she thinks she gets to act this way towards others. This reminds me of my aunt telling me to finish my meal because children in Africa were starving. My 5-year-old self immediately countered with, "Let's send this to them then." You're not the problem with food waste. It's more likely to be an eating culture that insists on serving huge portions that no human can engulf in one sitting. Not the asshole. This hurts my heart to read. You seem so kind, and she seems like such an ass. Yelling at you for not finishing food? Really? She needs to get over herself. It's not like you're purposely wasting it. You got full, and that's not your fault. Absolutely not the asshole. Not the asshole if she feels so strongly about it. Let her finish it. Am I the asshole for how I reacted to my boyfriend saying my books are cringy? So I, 19 female, am dating my boyfriend, 20 male. I recently started rereading the Throne of Glass series. I get really into it when I read books, and I like to talk about it with other people. My boyfriend doesn't read books that often. However, he does talk about his hobbies a lot, and I listen because he enjoys them, and I want to show that I care about his interests. So yesterday him and I were on a call playing video games together, and I'm talking about my book. I'm telling him about how a certain character is haunting the narrative. He then says, "I don't really care, it's really cringe." That really hurt my feelings and made me really unmotivated to keep reading the books. I went quiet for the rest of the game. I then told him I was going to get off, and he asked me if everything was okay. I said it was, which is where I admit I should have told him that I was upset, but I just needed some time to process how I was feeling. I texted him a little later and asked him how he would feel if he was talking about something he enjoyed, and I said I didn't care and found it dumb, as a way to try and get him to understand where I was coming from. In response, he said he meant cringy, as in like a children's movie. I told him that it felt really shitty that he would say that about something I enjoyed, to which he promptly denied, saying he didn't care. I told him back exactly what he had said, and then he admitted that's what he said. He added that he meant it as, "I haven't read it, and don't plan to, so I don't have any context to care." I told him because of how he worded it, that's how I was going to process it, to which he left me on delivered until the next morning. He gave an apology, and said he thought he worded it differently. Coming up to where this is currently, he didn't really message all day, so I kinda knew he was upset with me, and when I asked he admitted he was. When I asked why, he said that my reaction didn't really equal what happened, and then added, "This is a direct copy and paste," and immediately going into an emotional response instead of thinking it another way or asking. That second part feels really like he's trying to deflect the blame back onto me. I've asked him to talk about that part later. AITAH for how I reacted. Edit. I'll add that he also interrupted what I was saying to tell me he didn't care and that it was cringy. Edit 2. He's normally really good with me and reading. He'll take me to bookstores to look around and such. Sure, he'll make the occasional joke, but this is the first time anything like this has happened. Update. Him and I just called to discuss it. And in the end I told him I needed some space for a little while. You didn't overreact. He made a hurtful comment, didn't take accountability, and then got mad that you felt something about it. Classic emotional deflection. You're allowed to be upset when someone you care about puts down your interests. Couples don't have to have the exact same interests, although I hope you two share some interests, but with passionate interests, it doesn't really work if there's a whole lot of disrespect for what one partner likes and enjoys. If your boyfriend simply wasn't interested in your reading, then you'd have to decide if that was something you could handle in a partner. But your partner didn't just express disinterest, he condemned you interests. He said your interest in the books you're reading is cringe. Then he made it worse when he explained that by cringy he meant childish. This is not a man who respects your interests, or who cares about the impact of his very unkind and condemnatory words and put-downs. Red flag. Not the asshole. My husband doesn't give a fuck about my books or my TV shows, but you bet your ass he sits and listens to me explain every twist and turn. And the gaslighting. Just wait until he does this about something that actually matters. You can do better than this. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, but instead of trying to work out how you can force yourself to tolerate his selfishness and disrespect, you'll be saving yourself a lot of time and heartache by just acknowledging this is who he is actually sucks, and you should be trying to find someone who isn't so dishonest and nasty that they'd A, say all that mess to you, and then B, lie about it to your face as if you're too stupid to remember what he said. That really hurt my feelings and made me really unmotivated to keep reading. C. What his cruel words should make you do is feel unmotivated to keep dating this asshole. Why would you want to date someone who makes you feel small? There's no point in being in a relationship with someone who makes you feel this way. Your hobby represents you. Don't ever drop it for someone. Keep being you and look for people who actually like you. He added that he meant it as, I haven't read it and don't plan to, so I don't have any context to care. If he actually did mean that, the normal response to your partner would be, or something neutral. You don't have to enjoy your partner's hobbies, but you can politely engage them about it, the same way that you listen to him. What he did do was dismiss your hobby as crappy, and you as pathetic for enjoying it. You are not the asshole, and your boyfriend is a jerk. Am I the asshole for not wanting to purchase baby furniture for my in-laws? Update. We will be purchasing a wagon and a high chair for them to keep so baby can use it when we visit. We will not be getting the car seat or a crib. I have discovered today that the amount of research I have seen is not nearly enough to have a grasp of how Alzheimer's dementia could be affecting my MIL even this quickly. The symptoms I am seeing are very, very mild, and we were under the impression that we had more time, especially since she was diagnosed by accident when having testing done for an unrelated health issue. We thought we had gotten lucky by getting ahead of it. Thank you all for sharing your stories, your gentle encouragement to take a harder look at things, and to have the hard conversations. We plan on setting a meeting with MIL's doctor to see how we can best support her moving forward, including the healthiest way for her to interact with our baby. As most of you have said, the doctor will most likely be in agreement with us in that MIL and FIL should visit, not babysit. But, hearing from so many of you how fitfully Alzheimer's dementia progresses, I am understanding that the anxiousness my gut was feeling that had guided us to go ahead and make the shift from caregiving to visits despite their protests is the right call. I have been blessed to not have many family members pass, and have never really been around anybody with Alzheimer's dementia. Until now. Looks like I have a lot to learn. And baby will be staying with us so grandparents can visit. Any tips on breaking the news to my in-laws with a firm kindness would be appreciated. Husband 36 male, and I, 31 female, had our first child just under a year ago. MIL and FIL were older parents. They adopted my husband in their late 30s. They both come from huge families and are over the moon to finally have a grandchild. They asked to watch our kiddo 1 day a week while we are at work. To be clear, we do not need them to. They asked if they could. To provide context, they are now in their 70s and slowing down. MIL was recently diagnosed with early stages of Alzheimer's dementia, and while she is still in a functioning phase, does need reminders. They are both retired and on a fixed income. Their home is 5-7 minutes away from our home. Baby is now walking, eating solids, and taking 2 naps per day. I already bring all baby supplies for them each week. Diapers, wipes, bottles, formula, meals, toys, books, extra clothes, changing pad, etc. MIL and FIL have started asking us to provide them with baby furniture to keep at their house. They have asked us to buy them a wagon to be able to tote baby around outside. 30 pounds baby is hard for them to carry around their yard. A high chair so they can feed him since he's too wiggly for them to feed on their laps. They currently have a pack and play, but want us to replace it with a crib because they have trouble bending over the pack and play to lay baby down for naps, and a car seat so they can take field trips. They are mall walkers and want to take baby with them. Here's my problem, they only watch him 1 day a week, and they want us to purchase all of these not cheap items to leave at their home. I already load and unload a ton of supplies at each home when I drop off/pick up. I also have already provided toys, books, blankets, and baby-proofing supplies for their home. Also, with Emil's diagnosis, I don't see them watching baby without us much longer. FIL is already struggling to support Emil while also watching a very mobile baby. As a compromise, I suggested they stay with baby at our home during the day. It's comfortable, has all the baby supplies they could need. We have a cleaner come by once a week, lots of food and snacks in the fridge, and all of the same TV channels that they have. Plus I could leave the car seat instead of having to purchase a second one or load it in and out of my car in the morning. But they are significant other against this. It doesn't make any sense to me, and quite frankly I'm frustrated. We live on a very tight budget, and they want us to buy them basically a whole nursery. They also have specific requests for the type of furniture they want: lightweight, foldable or compact, easy to break down for when it's not in use the rest of the week, items that will grow with baby so they can use it for a long time, etc. Am I the asshole for not wanting to purchase these things and insisting that they should watch him at our home? I'm scraping together money currently to purchase shoes and winter clothing for baby, and they are pressuring us hard for these items. Not the asshole. With your Emil's diagnosis, they really shouldn't be babysitting anymore, to be honest. I suggest your husband has a frank conversation with his father about it his next phase of their lives. The thing about these diagnoses, from what I understand, is that things can happen rather suddenly. You think someone is fine one day, and then literally the next day they are wandering the sidewalk because they can't remember which house is theirs. This is not a safe to leave the baby in now. Waiting until spring just isn't a good choice. It will be a hard conversation, but what if they leave the stove on or the water running with your child running around? Not the asshole. Early Alzheimer's and taking care of my baby solo. NFW. Emil was recently diagnosed with early stages of Alzheimer's dementia. Emil and FIL have started asking us to provide them with baby furniture to keep at their house. Nope. Absolutely not. I would not let my mother do because with an early stages of Alzheimer's diagnosis, which is not something to mess with. The point is, it started and progressing. That puts her judgment entirely in jeopardy and your child with it. Yet. You are not the asshole for not investing in what sadly will be a short-term situation. By all means, have them over to see your child while you're there to ensure everyone's safety. Not the asshole. They are already proving that they are not up to keeping the baby. All the things they are asking for are really aids for them and not for the baby. Your baby will be mobile soon, and they are not going to be able to keep up with it. Your FIL will also be watching the baby and keeping an eye on your MIL. It's time to put a stop to this before something happens. Not the asshole, but with the age and condition of all involved, baby and elders, they probably shouldn't be watching baby alone. If Emil had an accident, would your FIL be able to call for aid, help her, and wrangle a toddler all at the same time? What if FIL was the one who had the accident? Would your MIL with Alzheimer's be able to handle a toddler and an emergency?